What's up, everybody, and welcome to Test Your Might, episode 85, the internet's premier and only and number one and best video game debate show. I am your host, Cicero Holmes, aka Stubby Stan. Say hi to your mother for me. And I am hosting my friends, my brothers. First off, my shenanigan brother. He is the one and only Mr. Rubber Duck himself. Justin, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm ready to lay on some smackdown and vote somebody off the island.
Oh, okay. Look at that. Look at that. He's going to evict somebody from the What the Fun household, and that person could potentially be the one and only Mr. Stay-at-Home Gamer himself, Mike. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
I am good. Planning to stay on this island. Don't have any. I got my desert island, franchise, so I'm just sticking it out.
He's on that plane crash one from Lost. He's not on the Survivor Island.
Well,
He's
hey,
lost.
We're not lost. We're not lost. We're going to be discussing Death Stranding on Gamepass PC, debating the next PlayStation big screen game. / movie, and much, much more. But first, shout out to Julie Chen. Leave us a review on
another reference Justin doesn't understand.
Yeah. But you know what? Those people out there in podcast land, you do get that reference. If you do get that reference, please leave us a review on your podcatcher of choice.
Yes.
If you can rate us on Spotify mobile, please give us 5 stars or whatever stars you think are appropriate. But, I think it's 5 stars. But, your mileage may vary. And if you're watching our beautiful faces on YouTube, please like, subscribe, comment, but, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Hit the likes. You're doing YouTube. You do YouTube. You know what to do. Do those things for us because we're awesome. So a little bit of housekeeping. Let's talk about the Hobbit trilogy reviews. They're all out, and we'll be having the first two of the Lord of the Rings trilogy reviews coming this week in anticipation of the new Amazon series coming out. So get ready for that. And,
sorry for the delay on the Fellowship of the Ring review. We had some audio issues. I was muted for about 12 minutes.
It takes a lot of time to get that message off the Lost Island. So
it was. Well, it was secret and safe, so safe that you couldn't say anything about it, and that's what was going on.
Exactly.
Gandalf the Grey was taking care of what needed to be done.
I just lost the game. Thanks, Cicero.
No problem. A question of the week, and this is still part of our Getting to Know Us series. So this one is the number one fast food item of all time. You know what, Mike? I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go to you first. What's your number one fast food item of all time?
Cicero has seen my belly, so he knows that I have been to fast food restaurants. I don't know, man. Like, this is tough because I believe that there's one good thing on everybody's menu. Do I go with the Crunchwrap Supreme? The Crunchwrap Supreme's so good from Taco Bell. But I think overall, I think I'm going to have to go with probably a Portillo's cheeseburger. Like, I love Portillo's cheeseburgers. And hopefully, Justin, you're okay with me choosing Portillo's. That's fast enough, right? Fast food enough.
Yeah, that's good. They go
Portillo's double cheeseburger with bacon. Probably the Baconator is a close second, but I prefer Portillo's burgers.
Portillo's bacon cheeseburger.
Mm-hmm.
All
So
right.
good. So good.
Justin. Top that.
Yeah, the last time that I had a bacon cheeseburger from Portillo's was when I worked at Blockbuster Video, and I
was right next to one.
I almost couldn't finish my shift afterwards because I felt like I was gonna die. That thing was so
Wow.
huge. It's fantastic, but it's a lot. I chose something a little bit different, something that I don't get my hands on very often anymore, if ever again. And this is something from Jack in the Box. And little do you know, Jack in the Box has tacos. And Jack in the Box tacos are something that it's kind of like the myth realm of fast food because they are not around us over here in the Midwest. Right. You have to travel to Indiana to get them now, or you can go to the West Coast and get them. But Jack in the Box tacos, good for a bang for your money, number one. And they're basic, they're greasy, they're good. And that sauce they put, the sauce. Oh, Taco Bell.
Man, when we were in college, when we were in college, Justin and another friend group of his, I can remember them driving down to Jack in the Box like almost every other weekend.
Oh, you guys had Jack in the Crack up here?
It's Indiana.
No, it was
in Indiana. You guys went to school in Indy?
Well,
you had to drive all the way to Indiana?
Here.
Yeah,
I was in college.
Yeah. You were in college.
I'm just talking college age.
Oh, okay.
All
right.
Yeah, message is getting blurred from the Lost Island.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
No, it's just something that Taco Bell can't touch. It's a taco that is unique. Burger King did it for a little while and they tried to replicate it and it just fell flat on it.
I remember those
confirm.
Tacos.
Can confirm. Jack in the Box tacos are the perfect drunk late night cheap food. Perfect
and
meal.
yet another reason why Cicero bought a bidet.
Hey, there you go. Hashtag bidet gang. If you know, you know. So for me, I went a little different. I went a little different on this because
lasagna.
Right. So like there's fast food, right? But there are fast food places that aren't necessarily chains.
Yeah. Is there one with a wild boar?
Yeah.
Pineapple.
No, because it's real difficult to prepare wild boar. You can't prepare wild boar in fast food stuff. So I want to talk about a place that was in Evanston, Illinois, where I lived, and it was called Wiener and Still Champion. It was a hot dog stand, and he created a concoction called a bird dog, and the bird dog was chicken strips on a hot dog bun with American cheese, bacon, and honey mustard.
Sounds delicious.
Oh, it was even better than you could think.
Now they make Hawaiian hot dog buns too. So can you only imagine?
Oh man, yeah. Well, and yeah, so like, it's one thing to talk about a favorite fast food dish of all time, but one that you can't get again just adds a little extra spice to it. And sadly, Winner and Still Champion has lost. They lost the battle to apathy and, I don't know, hypertension or something, I don't know, or high rents. They are no longer...
Or high blood pressure.
Well, who knows? I think I like to think it was the rent. The rent got too high.
Yeah,
and they had to move out.
That double bypass place is still open, and that's a that's a lot worse.
So not only was it a delicious fat boy meal, but it is one that I can't get again. So it will forever remain in my heart, clogging up my arteries. The bird dog.
I got a sausage lodged in the lining of my heart.
Yeah.
And here's the sausage that Cicero ate in 39.
Right.
Hey, I'll do the autopsy.
Right.
And here's the boar that he ate the week later.
Right. Yes.
Oh, just about a baker's dozen.
Yep. All the sauce all over it.
Sauce all over the place. You know what else is all over the place? Is games that we've been playing. So what have we been playing? Justin, what have you been playing, man?
I I played a little bit more of As Dusk Falls, and I'm still enjoying it, going through the story. I slowed down a bit from the initial play. And then I played through a game that I heard about it a while back, and it came to Xbox and to Steam a while back, and it's called Lord Winklebottom Investigates. And it's a point-and-click adventure where you are a giraffe with a hippo, kind of like a Sherlock Holmes kind of esque thing, and you're going through a death and you're trying to solve the murder. It's very good, and I've played through it entirely. Enjoyed every moment. Other than that, just a few mini games, just some stuff. I picked up poker again on the VR. Enjoyed that for a little run, and continued my playthrough of Resident Evil 4 on Oculus as well. So good.
Oh, how's that?
Scary, good. What I like, all the things that make a great game to me. Until Scorn comes out, it's all I got. So, yeah, it's good though. I enjoyed it, and that's another reason that Cicero has the bidet.
Yeah, right, exactly. Hashtag bidet gang.
I don't.
If you know, you know.
I think I'm going to actively avoid my cursor going on Scorn, like when it comes to Game Pass. I'm just gonna go around it.
I will drive to your place, install it, and then leave. And boot it up and turn off the TV. And the TV, when he turns it on, it'll just be up and running.
Here's why you won't, because you'll get a bajillion notifications that I am online.
I will be glad. Yeah. Side story. If you want to bring it up.
That's another game you've been playing. Is
avoid the pop-ups on my phone and Xbox. I'm sitting there watching movies, and for some reason, Stay-at-Home Gamer decided to log in and out 4 or 5 times every hour for the last 9 hours, and just kept popping up, letting me know that he's online. So I've been constantly playing the close the pop-up blocker lifestyle, both on my phone and on the Xbox.
I was downloading Madden. I was downloading the 10-hour trial, and. For some reason it kept, telling people, specifically Justin, that I was online.
Wow. Yeah. Well,
just trying to relax, man.
They wanted Justin to know, definitely. Excuse me.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, bless you.
Yeah.
That's what I've been playing anyway.
Yeah. I've been playing allergies. You know what? I'm going to talk about what I've been playing. Speaking of Madden 23, that's what I've been playing. I've been playing Madden 23. It released. I got early access, so I was playing a little bit of it. It is the best Madden in years, but it is still not without its problems. Definitely growing pains going in, but a lot of the legacy things have changed for the better. So gameplay has changed for the better. The animations are more crisp, and there are lots of new innovations, and there are lots of things that they have kind of brought back into the fold that make the game more enjoyable for simulation players and for casual players alike. So excited to see what this game is going to be like in a month when they can knock out some of the, smooth out some of the rough edges. And I should expect to have a great time playing it.
Let me know when you can run through the stands. I want to just run through.
Yeah. I'll be trying to do that right away. Let's see. What else have I been playing? I've been playing the show. I just jumped back into Marvel Spider-Man for some reason because it's awesome. And I think all the talk about it going to PC made me maybe pick it back up on my PS5. I did not play My Little Pony, Justin. I'm sorry.
Dang.
On Stadia. I just ran out of time. I should have made the time to play that game. I will.
Missing out.
30 minutes, man. Oh.
Absolutely.
Now I don't know if I should buy it or not. And same with all our fans.
Please wait. I will let you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mike, what have you been playing?
So yeah, I was reading some of the reviews of Madden 23, and so I wanted to download it and try it. Still haven't tried it yet, but yeah, just gonna try it. I don't think I'm gonna get into it. Just gonna maybe play a couple games or here and there, see if I like it. So, but I've been playing God of War specifically. Most of my gaming time has been God of War. I am just absolutely loving it. I have a base PS4, but it's still looking great. It plays good as well. Like, not really having any issues with that. And the story, just the relationship that you see between Kratos and Atreus, just growing and then growing apart and then growing back together again. Like, it's just a phenomenal story intertwined with, I've said it before, just a really, really good, really good combat system and upgrade system and stuff like that. So, again, really enjoying it. It's potentially, we here at Test Your Might, we don't, keep our game of the years to the year that, we're in. So I think God of War 2018 is trekking to be my game of the year so far. So, even over Tunic. So we'll see what happens near the end. But I finally got a chance to try the Forza Horizon Hot Wheels DLC.
That's
for
right.
myself.
I've been playing that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So really, really fun time. Unfortunately, I did not get the chance to play the Hot Wheels DLC in Forza 3, so this is kind of my first experience with that particular DLC, which I think it's so unique. I think it's so cool. And yeah, just a lot of fun. Just gonna trek my way through that a little bit slower. And I'm going to sneak it in here. I've been playing a lot of board games recently, actually. So
Okay.
I picked up Catan Jr. to
Nice.
play with my kid, who's 5 years old. The box says 6+, but we did try it today as of this recording. I was very surprised at how quickly he was, getting into it and kind of understanding the rules and everything. And it's a lot of fun. Also, that was a Goodwill find for $3. It's originally $34.99. So I'm happy. I'm a happy camper.
Wins all the way around.
Yeah. And then another board game I played a couple nights ago was called Quacks of Quedlington. Quacks of Quedlington. Yeah.
Yes.
So you are
A duck?
you are on a quest to become the next quack of Quedlington, but this is not a duck. You are a witch trying to create potions, so you are a quack. It's just a really, really cool resource management. And Justin, I think you would actually like this because despite it not being a deck builder, it has a deck building mechanic in it where you are adding tiles to your bag. Mm-hmm. And these tiles you have to choose randomly, kind of like a deck. And you have to choose randomly and build your potion out. And your, the more tiles you get, the more possibility of getting further into your potion. And it's all randomized. It's just like a deck of cards. And you get to choose, each of those tiles has a different ability and stuff like that. So it's definitely one that I'm planning to purchase here soon. Especially since, my hometown here is getting a local game shop soon. So I'm really excited for that. So
how much does that run for?
I saw it on Amazon the other day for $40. So
all right,
I'm planning on getting it soon.
Just put it on the duck bill.
Right.
Okay, you're buying it for me?
No, I meant like put it on the duck's bill.
Right.
Okay. All right, I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link, and I'll expect it at my house here soon.
Oh, look at that! All right.
All right.
Well, Okay, thanks, Mike. Thanks for playing. I didn't know we were playing. We were adding board games, but that is something that we've been playing. So I've also been playing a board game. I played today a Choose Your Own Adventure board game.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Choose Your Own Adventure board game. It's awesome.
Is that the one that's legit? Choose Your Own Adventure.
It's legit.
Right?
It's legitimately Choose Your Own Adventure.
I was at the Gen Con when they released that.
Yeah, there's two of them. So I was playing the second one, the newer one.
Nice.
It was legitimately a lot of fun. We lost. It's a cooperative game, and it was a lot of fun. Can't wait to play it again.
And I got to be honest, sorry to take the hosting duties for a second, but there was a reason I mentioned board games as well. We are going to be having a special episode of the What the Fun show talking about this year's Gen Con with a friend of the show, Luke, aka Frostbite from Twitter, and he's been on the show recently, as of this year, I believe he was on. So yeah, stay tuned for that. It's going to be a good, fun episode talking about board games.
There you go. Well, look, I got a job to do.
All right.
I won't.
I hand the baton back.
I won't tolerate.
Take the talking stick away from Cicero.
Yeah, exactly. It's my precious. All right. Well,
that's our other show. Lord of the Rings. We have reviews coming out for that too.
Listen, man. You came in with your news. I'm coming in with my news. It's time for our news. Here we are. So hey, Embracer buys Lord of the Rings. Speaking of the precious.
Just full of segues.
Yeah, exactly. So Embracer buys Lord of the Rings. Guys, what do you think of this? Justin, now that Lord of the Rings is owned by Embracer, what do you expect to happen?
I want a standalone video game that is not based around the ring and not based around Gollum. It is something in Middle Earth that is unique, and bring back the Middle Earth engine. What was it called? The
Nemesis?
The Nemesis system?
Yes, the underused Nemesis. Bring it back and make a full AAA game and make it excellent, and not have to steal from the shows and the movies, and make it unique enough that it's something new. Get Tolkien on your side. Get it going. We need it now. AAA only. And do it right.
All right. Well, Mike, what are your feelings on this Embracer acquisition?
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting about it is that they also got the film rights too.
They've got all the rights.
They got all the rights. The rights. Do they? Correct me if I'm wrong, Cicero. Do they have is the Tolkien estate behind this as well? Because I know that's a little different as far as books and films and stuff like that. I don't know.
I've got to see if they.
My guess is not, because Private Division, which is a subsidiary of 2K or of Take-Two, sorry, I think they just announced a Lord of the Rings game that is set in the Tolkien verse, not the film verse.
They've got everything.
Yeah, they've got all of it.
So Embracer Group owns intellectual property catalog and worldwide rights to motion pictures, video games, board games, merchandising, theme parks, and stage productions relating to the iconic fantasy literary works Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, as well as matching rights in other Middle-earth related literary works authorized by the Tolkien estate and HarperCollins, which have yet to be explored. So HarperCollins own, and the Tolkien estate kind of run the stuff, but it looks like Embracer has bought the stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what else is? I've been talking to Joe about this. Crossing my fingers here. They should make the musical The Real Heroes of Middle Earth called Eagles, and it would be a great production. Joe's behind it. He can't wait to see it. It's going to be Broadway and everything. and eagle sound effects, and it's going to have live eagles. It's going to be awesome.
Right. Well, yeah, and yeah, the Eagles would be singing songs.
Yeah.
And they're off doing their own thing, and then like for 5 minutes they fly in.
No, they just fly away. They don't tell us where they're going. They come back.
And then they come back and they're like, "Oh, here's the story that we have to tell."
Yeah. So what's interesting here is that Private Division, again, they're a publishing label of Take-Two. They're working with Weta Workshop.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, they're going to be creating a video game in the J.R.R. Tolkien Middle Earth universe. So I mean, I don't know what the thing with that is. So I don't know if is Weta, part of Embracer. I'm not sure. But Embracer is kind of their own publisher, so I don't even know what's going to go on with that. But regardless, yeah, I guess I'm kind of with Justin there, but
about Eagles. The musical?
No, your AAA game. But I don't know. I think I don't know if I want the Nemesis system back. But more so maybe like something that harkens back to those, PlayStation 2, GameCube, Xbox era Lord of the Rings games that are like based on the films. But but I mean, just something that is. Just something that's linear, maybe in the vein of like Jedi Fallen Order, but you're playing through a unique through a Tolkien inspired video game. So that's kind of what I would want.
I want a Tom Bombadil prequel series. And yeah, we can learn all about Tom Bombadil and that wizard that hangs out with rabbits, like
Radagast.
Yeah,
the one that had Sonic with him. Yeah,
exactly. So like seriously, give me prequel stuff that happens with these characters. Like I can do it in digital format. I can do it in an interactive format with games. So you could just kind of build the world and play as Tom Bombadil and figure out why he's such an important thing that Tolkien wasted 75 pages on in a book. Do that. Like, and not seriously, and not like all the other stuff that people think about when they think about Lord of the Rings. Give me something else that's really kind of like esoteric in that universe.
Yeah, they've stated, I'm reading here that they've stated at least that additional movies based on iconic characters such as Gandalf, Aragorn, Gollum, Galadriel, Owen,
Galadriel.
Yeah, and other characters from the literary works of J.R.R. Tolkien. So Radagast is a possibility. Cicero, you might get your answer, and just like Eagles are a possibility for my musical. So
absolutely.
Well, technically, Joe's musical.
I don't know about Radagast. I think Joe is saying in one of our Lord of the Rings podcasts that I don't think Radagast is actually a character. I think they created him for the movies.
For the movies.
So,
well, but if
the
he's
IP
in the movies now he's part of the IP. Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
So you could start.
What
Harley
is
Quinning
Eagles?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The greatest immersion breaking of all time.
Harley Quinn was made for TAS, and now she's in everything, even video games. And speaking of video games and stuff going across, Death Stranding is coming to Gamepass Ultimate on PC, there are lots of Sony fans and I guess console fans that are not happy about this. Mike, what are your feelings about Death Stranding?
Yeah.
Shout out to Sharif Jackson, by the way.
Yeah,
this was
crazy.
Yeah, this is his
back catalog.
His game to get back. From his back catalog. So.
This is wild news to me. I think that it's a couple of key factors here. First and foremost, I don't think games like Spider-Man PC or like God of War PC are going to be showing up in Game Pass Ultimate PC. Like, I do not see that ever happening. Last week you guys talked about how Sony is, paying to get things off of Game Pass, which is honestly, it's just marketing. At the end of the day, it's just business. And so I'm assuming Xbox does the same thing in reverse. But if I think Death Stranding is the one PlayStation exclusive that goes into Game Pass, and I don't think it just completely blows everything up. You put Spider-Man and God of War on Game Pass PC, like, there's no going back. So I mean, that's the first thing I want to talk about. Secondly, I also think it's important to note that it is not the director's cut, which is specific to the PlayStation 5 as well as the PS4. It has extra content and stuff like that, so this is just the base game, but still, this is still something that I would have never even predicted, that a Sony IP. I mean, at this point, can it be called a Sony IP? I think it's just a Kojima IP, and that's why it ultimately ended up on Game Pass.
Justin, what are your feelings about Death Stranding?
It's a game. People are going to play it. Sharif tells us to.
Right.
I feel like haters are going to hate. Sony ponies are gonna yell about it, obviously, because this was technically an exclusive to Sony, just like MLB was. If this was Spider-Man or if this was God of War, there would be bonfires outside of Sony's headquarters. I feel like there would be an outrage, an uproar. There would be eagles flying in and saving people. I feel like this is something that is just like, Kojima's working with Xbox. That was announced. So that's a thing. I feel like it's not the director's cut. Mike makes a very good point there. They still have the extra content, the exclusivity of that content stuck on PlayStation. I think that's huge. But this is also, from what I've heard, not a great selling game. It didn't get the best sales compared to other titles that Sony has released. So I feel like this is kind of like, let's make a little bit more money on the side. Obviously the exclusivity deal probably went up, and Xbox was like, here, we'll give you some money. It's your game, Kojima, you're working with us. Here's some more to help grease the wheel that you're going to start creating stuff for us. So I don't see it as anything wrong. I have the Ultimate. We have the Ultimate here at the What the Fun podcast. And I feel like if we want to play it, now we have an opportunity to do so. Sharif called it last week, and now I get to try it. Maybe it's in my back catalog, Right. Yeah, it'll be okay. Well, I mean, it's definitely in your back catalog now, right? Yeah. Because it's on there. So a couple of points to mention. It was developed by Kojima Studios, or Kojima Productions, but it was published by Sony. Not the first Sony published game to wind up on a Microsoft platform. And in fact, this particular game, Death Stranding, has already been on a Microsoft platform. It made it to Windows in 2020. Now it's just going to be in Game Pass, which means that it is now open to console gamers who, don't have to spend money to pay to play it outside, or PC players who have Game Pass, who don't have to spend money outside of the price of their subscription. So it's awesome. It's always better for people to be able to play game. More people to be able to play games than for fewer people to be able to play the games. And I think the difference is that this is not a Sony studio, but it was a Sony published game, which is what San Diego Studios is now. Yeah. The developers of MLB The Show.
Justin, so, I think Death Stranding is a Justin game. Like this, just the way
no interest whatsoever.
I mean, but it is a chill, relaxed game. Like, I feel like, and it has a weird and interesting story. Like, I think this is up your alley, to be honest.
Well, it's not like
So-
I have to pay for it, so you know, I can just jump in it and see if it's any good.
Yeah, check it out.
It you know, the way Sharif did make it sound, you know, visually gratification.
Right.
So that's what I want.
Right.
We'll
Right.
give it a shot. Why not? I'm not a big fan of the actor. Sorry, not a fan of him
Oh.
from Walking Dead. So
Oh, well,
that's a thing. But
yeah, well, maybe, maybe you'll be a fan of the actor that Sony gets for Days Gone, the movie that they've got planning going forward.
Nice.
So we found out that Sony is attempting not a Days Gone sequel, but a Days Gone movie.
mhm.
Justin, would you rather have a Days Gone sequel or a Days Gone movie?
I would rather have a movie. I feel like the aspects of that game really could, the storytelling of it could it could do it justice through a movie on the big screen. I feel like the visual representation of it on a video game sequel would not quite hit the bar. I feel like this zombie craze is kind of at a low right now. It's kind of being moved into the back catalog of a lot of people's lives. You know, when Walking
Sure.
Dead was huge, sure, that was the prime for zombie stuff. But
Right.
this whole motorcycle aspect and you know, building it and then getting swarms and hordes of zombies coming at you, I think on the big screen could really bring the tension up a lot. I feel like that could you could see that emotion, you could see the story building elements really well done if they execute it properly. And I feel like that could bring a wave of zombies, no pun intended, back into our hearts and into our lives.
Mike, the story is apparently being developed by X-Men First Class story developer Sheldon Turner. So do you think that Sheldon's vision, or at least what you've seen in stuff like X-Men First Class, is the recipe for a good thing, or do you think, like Justin, that this is we've got zombies on the brain again, potentially as a result of this?
Well, to answer your first question, X-Men First Class was actually a movie that I would have been interested in, and I was interested in. I have been over the zombie motif for years. I am quite done with it. So this has no interest for me in particular, especially because they call them freakers, not zombies. So yeah, I have no interest. So, in the wise words of a good friend of mine, it's a movie. People are going to go watch it. People will buy it when it releases on home video.
Wow. Well, so it'll release on home video. Maybe they'll get it on VHS.
Yeah.
Be
Ooh.
Kind Rewind. So
Blockbuster, nice.
right.
Pay your late fees.
So-
We're still waiting.
Right. I think this is a great thing that's going to happen. We're getting a Last of Us, maybe, hopefully a Last of Us television series on HBO Max, coming soon.
I mean, they just released a teaser today. I hope they don't cancel it.
Yeah, well, you never know. You never know with what's going on.
Well, aren't they called clickers in that?
Right. Yeah. So, so freakers and clickers are going to be around. No zombies. But
No zombies.
but I think that this has the potential. Like, if it does well, if the movie does well, then you're definitely getting a Days Gone sequel,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Like, like that will
Wow.
give everybody the energy to either make a sequel or make a sequel movie.
I mean, what's really interesting about there's a whole backstory behind why a sequel didn't get greenlit, because even the main game designer of Days Gone came out and said that they made enough money to greenlight a second. So it is very interesting that Sony's going down this route of creating a movie for a game that wasn't necessarily critically panned, but I think it was just underwhelming for a lot of people. It still had some high praise, they fixed a lot of the bugs that were at launch, and
some great ones.
Bugs in a Sony game? No.
Yeah. Now there's going to be a movie. So
yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Sony Pictures needs to do well, and the game studios want to do well. So maybe they're going to lean on one aspect of their org to help another aspect of their org. That's kind of what we did with the news. We gave that to you first, so that now you can get ready. You had your appetizer. Now you're ready for the main course. Gentlemen, are you ready for the main course of our show? That is Test Your Might.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Are you ready?
All right. Yeah.
Palms sweaty. Mom's spaghetti.
Yes, that's right. All right. So our first topic. With an Uncharted movie already done and more in the works, which other PlayStation game IP deserves a big screen adaptation? Mike, you have not been here in a while. I will give it to Justin.
I will take it and hand it to Mike.
Okay.
Mike, you get to go first.
Yeah, I get to go first. It is clear to me that one of the things that people look into in creating movies is to create a franchise. And one that has stood the test of time as far as story goes in the video game world is God of War. And I'm going to stop you right in your tracks before you even use the argument, Justin. I understand that it is coming to Amazon Prime as a series in the future, but we are talking big screen here, and I believe that God of War deserves a big screen adaptation. Personally, I'm playing God of War 2018 right now, as I said in the What Have You Been Playing, and the visuals alone would be awesome on the big screen. And you just have phenomenal character arcs within the storyline. One of the things that's really cool about it is that you have you have so many possibilities of villains that you could utilize within one movie, and then the sequel could be the next villain or whatever. Because this is Kratos. He's a god of war. He is going to annihilate his father, which he does eventually in God of War 3. Sorry, spoilers. He's going to annihilate like all of his aunts and uncles and cousins, and because you have that sort of element of this like family dynamic that Kratos doesn't really like his family, it makes for a great story, as well as just the action and the set pieces in general would be perfect for the big screen adaptation. I think that you also have the Norse mythology that's coming into it, and it intertwines the stories of the original games as well as this new one, these new couple games that are coming out too. You just have so many options with mythology. The mythos is there. It needs a big screen adaptation.
All right, Justin.
That's good.
Yeah, what do you have for Mike's God of War?
Now, boy, let me show you how to actually debate this topic. So, in regards to this making a movie, my series, my game series, is long since gone, but did have a TV series, just like God of War is in the process of getting one. And this takes the different route for films, right? So you've got Days Gone, and you've got Last of Us. You've got these adult Sony properties coming out. These adult films. We've got God of War now, apparently, a highly mature adult film, which would be excellent to see. But Sony wants to get the audience that knows is there. They know is there. And that's the kid audience. So this franchise here is not for adults, but it's more of like a Minion kind of vein. So you've got that small character that made an appearance a long time ago, and now kids are in love with it. We've had multiple Minion, multiple Despicable Me's. This is the characters from Ape Escape. These are the monkeys in that science experiment lab with the guy with the net. And yeah, these monkeys can talk. They can laugh. They can joke. They can make sound effects that kids are going to love. And the whole point of this is that kid growing to like the small community of monkeys that he has around him, traveling around this island and collecting the ones that aren't so nice with help with his friends. So I feel like this is going to gain that audience of these children, this mass community that Sony has as well, because they've got all the adult stuff already in process. They want that other half, even larger half, honestly, of the coin. They want the kids as well. And what's better than bringing back an awesome game back from the original PlayStation, one of their original properties, Ape Escape, and bringing it into a new light, into the new series, into new kids, and making a new game afterwards. This is something that is going to make them money and also looking towards the future in their hands. So I think Ape Escape throws the net over God of War any day.
All right. Mike, give me the God of War movie that you'd start the franchise with. So is there a specific game that you draw from, or a storyline that you'd want to go with?
Well, I mean, if I'm talking like specific storylines, let me see here. Let me look up his name.
Boy.
So I mean, I think the one sort of storyline that you can utilize, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was either in the first or the second game. I know it's not in the third, but I believe it's the first or second game. I think that the very first movie, you need to tackle Ares, because Ares is the god of war in Greek mythology. And I think that you need to utilize Kratos in this first movie to establish himself as that god of war, as that person who is, he is the be all end all when it comes to physicality, when it comes to manipulating in war, and, battles and stuff like that. So I think that is the very first step that you need to do. And then throughout that, you're kind of intertwining the dealings of Zeus and the dealings of the the hierarchy of the Greek mythos that kind of will seep into planting seeds into Kratos's storyline, whether they're bad seeds or good seeds, right? Obviously Kratos has issues with Aphrodite and like all those, even Artemis, like they have issues with that. Like Ares needs to be the first big bad, and Kratos needs to figure out how he's going to overthrow first the OG God of War, so that he can have dealings with his father, because another spoiler, his father is Zeus. So yeah.
Jeez, no warning or anything.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah, really.
Sorry.
All right.
These are like 20-year-old games at this point.
So they're new to somebody.
Sure.
Justin, what is the first the origin story for your Ape Escape cinematic franchise? Or is it a standalone, or is this going to be a franchise?
Oh, this is going to be a franchise for sure.
Okay,
because the main story of Ape Escape that I'd tweak just a tad is that there's an amusement park that has monkeys in it, obviously, and a professor that has, lots of power in the technology field, I guess. He is very experimental with his different experiments. I guess that's the way to put it. So
experimental with his experiments.
Yeah, he's very. So there's this white-haired monkey. I believe Spectre was his name. Yes, a white-haired monkey, puts on this helmet and increases his own intelligence tenfold, this monkey. So he can speak and he can move around and do things that obviously monkeys normally don't do. And he starts making headgear for other monkeys, which also allow them to get some abilities. And then he sends them time traveling to mess up the planet completely all across time. So I feel like this is a great way to make it into a series. So you've got, the past, you've got different times that you're going to try and protect and change the past from these monkeys from destroying it, I guess. So you've got this human that is going along with them in their adventures, kind of like the one that, the funny part is he's kind of the one who makes the most mistakes. The monkeys are a little smarter because of these helmets, these headgears. So you've got all the jokes that come alongside monkeys and humans working together to try and stop other monkeys. It's a great way of kids getting involved in the Sony properties. You don't really get that a lot nowadays. And I feel like this is I just feel like this is a great way to do it in a series. Yes, the first movie is going to be initial, the amusement park, you can see it, the monkeys going all around, people enjoying themselves, and then all crap breaks loose and there's no eagles in sight. So
is this animated or live action?
This is going to be kind of like the Sonic movies. So you're gonna have monkeys that are in human elements, CG-ified, if that's a word. I feel like I want to take a swing here, just at God of War once here.
Oh no, yeah. All right, wait. Oh yeah. Oh no. So yeah, that's it. Now you guys are gonna get 30 seconds to take your swings.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, Mike, 30-second swing at Ape Escape. Why is that a terrible idea?
I think your story is just too all over the place. I mean, Sony is in the market for story-driven games, so they are also in the market for story-driven big screen adaptations. The story in God of War is a little bit more focused. It's not as nuanced, and God of War is more so in the cultural zeitgeist right now over Ape Escape. Like, yeah, Ape Escape only hits the gamers. It doesn't really hit like pop culture, whereas God of War hits pop culture.
All right. Thank you very much. And 30 seconds for you, Justin. Swing away at God of War.
So, God of War is a good idea, except I think playing those games takes a lot longer than a movie would take. 25 to 30 just for the God of War new one. So I feel like those should stay in the TV realm because you can flesh out that story and have great narrative throughout. Ape Escape, on the other hand, no one knew who Minions were before Despicable Me. And that wasn't even the title of Minions. That was just a character that they developed. So apes can become a character just as quick as they disappeared. For kids, that's how things work. It's a flip of a coin. As soon as they see them and they see fun jokes and movement and Sonic-like elements with these apes, they're going to be hooked instantly. And adults will like it because it's nostalgic.
3 seconds. Okay, there we go. All right. Whew, man. Let me tell you. So, going into the final round, Mike had this hands down. Hands down. He did it. But then Justin talked about the Minions factor, and he talked about them being cute and how that, how you can make a franchise out of an accident. And he is so right about that. But God of War is going to win. Mike gets the first one.
You faked us out. I was like, yeah. Cicero, if you give this to him.
Yeah.
Shout out, Sharif. Objection.
Yeah. Objection, yes. It got real close. Yeah, Justin really came back in the end. But yeah, that Ares is good. All right. Next up, with Squirrel with a Gun shown to the general public, let's have a versus battle. One video game with a gun. One video game animal with a gun. Who wins? Pistols.
One
only.
Video game with a gun? I didn't prepare for that one.
Yeah. All right. So video game animal with a gun. Winners outs. So Mike, you won. You get to pick. Who goes first?
I'll give you the honor again, Justin.
Oh, you're handing the torch?
Yeah. I'll be nice.
Okay. I'll take it. No problem. So I thought about this one for a while. And then I played a game, and I felt this was the perfect character. And that's going to be Lord Winklebottom from Lord Winklebottom Investigates. And if you didn't know, this is a giraffe with a pipe and a top hat. And he is sophisticated and smart and problem-solving. And he has a gun. There are guns in that game, just letting you know. You do not carry one. So he has been around guns before, and he knows what to do with them. All right, Mike, go ahead. Lord Winklebottom, the giraffe.
All right. Well,
Okay,
Mike, yeah. Lord Winklebottom versus.
I believe it's Winklebottom the third, to be honest.
Of course he is.
So when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about if I was actually behind the controls against somebody else
Right.
in pistols only battle as an animal that is from a video game.
Yes.
How would I want, what would I want my moveset to be? What sort of abilities would I want to have work in conjunction with my pistols? I was thinking double jump. I was thinking, just running side to side, some agility. And I was also thinking spinning. And how cool would it be for Crash Bandicoot to spin around in fast circles going 360s everywhere with pistols in hand?
Pistol.
I think, pistols only.
Oh, okay.
No, it's with a gun. One gun.
Okay. Well, regardless, he spins enough where it's going to feel like it's two guns. Okay. And Crash Bandicoot has this in the bag. This is a freaking giraffe. I mean, I'm just running around in circles.
All right. Well, so Crash Bandicoot versus Lord Winklebottom the Third. Justin, why is Lord Winklebottom the absolute most indubious choice? Indubitably.
Well,
for...
Mike's just talking. It's inconceivable what he's talking about. I feel like Crash Bandicoot. Come on, you don't even have your tiki dude. One hit, you're gone. Right? One hit, you're gone. Spinning's not going to stop a bullet. Spinning's not going to stop something from shooting you. And a giraffe, he's fast. If you would have picked Sonic, sure, because then you're moving a lot side to side. Crash doesn't run, horizontally very quickly. He doesn't speed run like Sonic would have. So my giraffe's got 35 miles per hour, normal speed, and he's got his brain behind him. So I feel like the thoughts that he could go through to just outsmart you, number one, because Crash is not very smart, and also the biggest factor here, and I'm sure you know it because we just went through Star Wars. Don't try it, Crash Bandicoot. I have the high ground.
Yeah, and what what
okay.
Anakin Skywalker didn't have was a double jump, and that's exactly what Crash Bandicoot is going to do. He's going to double jump onto your back, and then just shoot you right in the back of the neck. I mean, it just makes sense. And with the giraffe, you're talking about speed, but the giraffe, that is the speed from point A to point B in a straight line. The Bandicoot is going to spin around you, and you do not have the turn radius to even turn around to see where I am. And if we're talking about speed, whatever, you're also talking about height, I could just be under you. I could be under you, and you wouldn't even know where I am because you're so dang tall.
All right, so I understand that. I understand you could be under me. Have you not seen a giraffe eat leaves? Have you not seen a giraffe stick its head to the ground and drink water? This gun, I didn't say where it was going to be located. You immediately assumed it was going to be in a hoof or something like that. No. Nay, they say. Oh. Giraffes have a very long tongue. Do you understand this? It is wrapped around that gun handle and up on that trigger. And guess what he can do? Put it right up to his eye like a dead sight. Right at you as his neck comes down and shoots you between the eyes. And even if you do shoot me in the neck, you know how much damage you would have to do Even if you shot me in the head, male giraffes like this one, have 3 brains. You'd only have that one shot before he's already shooting you, and you only take 1 hit anywhere on your body to die. I don't even have to hit you in the head.
I'll just hit you in the heart then from underneath you. Like, I don't think there's a contest here. And you're talking about it in his mouth and also in the eye. Like, how is that even possible?
The tongue up to the eyesight, like looking.
Yeah, and there's going to be no control with that tongue. It's going to be way too wild.
The strongest muscle in the body for humans. Can you only imagine what they do with their tongue?
Yeah, it's not going to. I mean, let's see you try grab a gun with your tongue because it's the strongest and see if you could pull the trigger accurately.
I just want to say, I've played Winklebottom, and I've seen him hold very heavy objects with only his mouth, with only his tongue, including a a suit of armor's axe, a double-edged axe with just a tongue, and precisely put it in the correct location. Giraffes are very strong. If you look up facts.
I also have to point out that we are talking about the video game character.
Yes.
Not the actual animal. Mm-hmm. And so I do want to point out that Crash, I mean, you're talking about basically a visual novel, right? An interactive sort of game. Mm-hmm. Whereas Crash, you play in a, 2D, 3D plane in some instances, depending on the game. And he has that agility. He has the ability to spin. He has the double jump. He has the movement that I don't think the giraffe would be able to counter at all. Mm.
I just feel like Lord Winklebottom is a very special individual here, and I feel like his skill set would outmatch Crash's, even if you had speed. All
right, I've heard enough. Mike, Crash has only got 1 life. Lord Winklebottom's gonna win. He's a giraffe. I just watched some giraffes fight. Crash ain't beating a giraffe with that tongue. Mike, you lost Justin when he said he got the tongue and the guns in the tongue and he brings it up to his eye. Those tongues are strong, man.
Yeah, everyone knows how giraffes hold guns. Come on.
Yeah.
This is why I talked about the video game version and not the real version.
He was holding a knife in his mouth. He was in that game. He was holding a knife.
Yeah.
Same concept.
Yeah. Yeah, Lord Winklebottom's still a giraffe. Even if he is a video game giraffe, he's still a giraffe. All right, shout out to Jeffrey the Giraffe and Toys R Us Kids. All right, so we are tied now. We are tied going into our 3rd fight. The Sega Genesis Mini 2 is coming in October, and its games list was just announced. So which game is the best from the list? And we will go with Justin winners out, so you get to choose.
I'm gonna let Mike go first because I don't think there's any chance that he's gonna pick the one that I picked out of this list.
Wow.
There's a lot here, and I've got to back up even if he does manage to pick one out of the 40 games.
Ooh, here. Wow! Listen, confidence.
Oh, 53 games. Sorry.
Mike?
So I am still going to use this game despite misreading the question. I didn't realize it said the best game. But I do think that that it could be argued as the best, but also one of the most unique. And so I'm choosing Night Trap.
Wow.
Night Trap is a interactive sort of VHS game, but in this case it was on the Sega Mega CD, which is going to be on this particular collection. And what it was it's a full motion video, and you are tasked to observe teenage girls having a sleepover, visiting a house which also has vampires in it. And so it's sort of like this first interactive horror type video game. Night Trap is also one of those games that was in was in the culture at the time very divisive. It was this game, even more so before Mortal Kombat, even, or also in the same conversations as Mortal Kombat was brought to, courts to see, to see if this should be something that our kids should be playing at the time. And so I just think that, despite the question being best, yeah, this might not be the best overall game on the list. And sure, maybe Cicero, you knock me down a little bit for that. But I just wanted to say that this might be one of the most important games on the list as far as history goes and as far as the medium of video game goes. This is a very unique experience, and also one that you don't see too often nowadays. So I think that this is one of the better ones off this list for sure.
Okay, Justin,
I can't believe
Night Trap.
I can't believe he picked my game, my movie. No, he didn't. No. Mine is something that's actually shouted again. It does say here that Night Trap was pulled from KB Toys and RIP Toys R Us when that announcement with Mortal Kombat came out. So mine is something that you will be able to buy there, or was able to buy there, and that would be a fighting game, and not Street Fighter. No, nay. The rival, Clay Fighter. Claymation brought into games with kind of like a satirisk, if that's a word, element to it against Street Fighter. There was characters in it that were kind of like, oh, haha, this is a Street Fighter thing, but we're gonna make it funny. And it was something that was also not as prevalent in people's minds because of the craze for Mortal Kombat, because of the craze for Street Fighter. And this is something that people can learn about and try out and be like, wow, they actually had something going here. And they made multiple versions. There was a 64 one, or 63 and a half, as it was known to a lot of people. It was claymation brought into a game, and I
63rd and a third, by the way.
Oh, there you go. And I feel like Night Trap is good, but FMVs have come a far, far way since that. I do enjoy the nostalgic and the fact that it was something to be talked about at the time. People aren't going to care about that now. They're going to watch it and be like, oh, this is just another FMV. Let's go play Echo the Dolphin. I would rather. I feel like it's a great Sega CD game for its time, but I don't think that people are going to be, loading it up day one. I think that's something you do on your chill time. You're going to hit all the big hits first, and Clay Fighter is something that will pique your interest as soon as you see that giant snowman on the front cover looking at you, and it's a fighting game by its name alone. I think Night Trap is a trap. It's a trap.
It's a trap. Mike, he has sprung your trap.
Mm-hmm.
Will you melt his clay?
I will. Yeah, I think it's very interesting that you chose that particular fighter. Certainly it is one that might pique the interest of some people who have never played it. But as far as the question goes, it's not even the best fighter on this list. I mean, obviously you do have Street Fighter 2, that is already on there. That is coming in this collection. But my backup that I had, if you chose Night Trap, was Fatal Fury 2. And one of the things about Fatal Fury 2 is that it is in the cultural zeitgeist right now, as far as it just got announced a new version is coming out, EVO 2022. So it is relevant. I've never heard of Clay Fighter. I've never heard of it. And maybe that's to my own chagrin, but Night Trap is infamous. Night Trap is one of those games that I believe that, it might be hard to play now, but certainly one that it is more so in the history books than Clay Fighter is. It is one that is part of our sort of video game DNA. I mean, if you don't have this in Mortal Kombat, you don't really have the more mature, story-driven focus that we have now. I think you lose a lot of aspects of what video games are nowadays if you don't have Night Trap included in our history. And so I just think you chose the wrong fighter, man. Like, there's better fighters on this list. Clay Fighter, I've never heard of.
I disagree with that.
I don't think people are stopping there.
Justin disagrees with the fact that you've never heard of this game, Mike.
Yeah.
So
actually, I remember this game.
I think that both of us chose games that weren't the best because they weren't listed in the description of what games are included herein. They even listed some Sega CD stuff, but most of it is Genesis that's listed, and neither of ours made that cut, which means both of our games are not the ones that they're really focused on letting us know, hey, by the way, this is going to be in there. You might as well buy it right now because you're going to get these games. I feel like, sure, yours has, that vein of the nostalgia of FMV, of the court case battle about violence in video games. Sure. Clay Fighter is something that anyone who knows fighting games can pick up and play, and they'll be pleasantly surprised to know every character in it is unique. Every character in it has their own moves and their own range. Fighters have a lot of moves to learn. But if you learn one character in this and become good in it, you could beat pretty much anything because every character is unique enough that it makes them a viable option, equally balanced throughout. And the characters' names are all little nods and funny jokes. I feel like there's a little bit for everyone. It's like Smash, you've got characters across a wide range of different people's likings and tastes. And I feel like that's going to make a good fighter, and it already did. And that's why there were sequels to it. I feel like that's why they kept it going, is because it hit a target audience, and it had that audience's hold for a while. Yeah, it dropped off. Fighting games did in general. Now they're making a comeback for the most part. But I feel like if you weren't a big name back then, fighting games were a hard ship to sail against. You've got Call of Duty in the first-person shooters now. That's something it's hard to fight against. Sure, Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter were big names, obviously. Clay Fighter was trying to be the underdog in this story. They were trying to bring it up, and they held on long enough to get in my heart. And I'm sure you've heard of them. I'm sure Cicero has. Clay Fighter did something different, but also unique compared to other fighters.
All right, Mike, one last chance to advocate for your choice or to decimate your opponent's choice.
By the way, clay hardens when it gets hot.
Yeah, I think if I'm going to go play a fighter, it is going to be one that is even on this games list, Street Fighter 2 or even some of the original Mortal Kombats. Like, those are just more than likely tighter experiences. Also one that has, stood the test of time. Clay Fighter is no longer around. The thing with Night Trap here is that you're talking about experiencing Clay Fighter with multiple people, but I also see that as an experience that you could have with Night Trap. You could just get a group of people together and go through this interactive medium together and kind of figure out what the shenanigans were as to why this game was in the conversation at the time for banning certain games. And I think it's just an important part of our history, and Clay Fighter isn't. Street Fighter is. Mortal Kombat is. And you got Street Fighter or even Fatal Fury, a game that is coming back on this list that you could go play.
All right. I have heard enough. Justin, Clay Fighter was a great game. It was a great game. Mike, Night Trap was not a great game. It is an important game, but it is a terrible game. And you can get people around together to play that terrible game, but they'll realize that the game is terrible. But when I think of Clay Fighter, I don't think of Genesis. I think of SNES. I think of Nintendo. In fact, the original Clay Fighter was the only one on released on the Sega console or on a non-Nintendo console. And for that reason, I'm giving it to Mike because when I think of Night Trap, I only think of Sega. When I think of Clay Fighter, I think of Nintendo. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Well.
If you have if anyone listening doesn't like the judge, or
right.
just wants to comment their own feedback,
Stubby Stan.
Stubby Stan.
Yeah. Stubby Stan. Stubby Stan. Yeah. Well, save your pitchforks and your torches for what comes up next. It is 2-1, and we've got one battle left. It is the blind fight.
Yeah.
And it is my blind fight.
Yeah.
So.
I'm blind.
All right. This blind fight.
Do you remember the question? Do you need to phone a friend?
This blind fight. Mike, you get to choose first.
Okay.
There's no easy choice. Peeps or candy corn?
Peeps or candy corn? Oh my goodness. There is no easy choice. I'm going to go Peeps.
You're going Peeps. That means, Justin, you are going candy corn.
Yeah.
The question is, which is the better of those candies and why? All right.
I'll let Justin argue first if we're doing winners
Justin.
out.
Yeah, Justin, you get to argue first. Why?
Okay.
Candy corn? You're candy corn, right?
Yeah, I'm candy corn.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Which is better?
All right, so I'm going to start off knocking Peeps. Number one, they're not seasonally available. They're available every season, and they make different colors. So they're not that sought after because you can get them whenever you I'm going to swear. Now, whenever you want, you can get those gross things. The most fun I had with Peeps was blowing up in a microwave because those things are terrible to eat. They're so bad. On the other hand, candy corn is something that is only seasonally available. And that's what makes it sought after. It's like the McRib, okay? It's something that if we had it all the time.
Did my man's just compare candy corn to a McRib?
Yeah, because it's listen to the duck here, because this is some facts. I'm dropping knowledge here. If the McRib was available all year round, that thing would be terrible. And it is terrible. But the only reason it's not is because it's only available for a limited time. Candy corn is the same. It's something that is available only during the spooky season. And during that spooky season, it's one of the things that you are okay with getting. It's not the best, but it's dang well better than Peeps because you get those year round and they're just the same food coloring garbage, sugar, marshmallow fluff, that only looks good blowing up in a microwave.
All right. Mike, why are Peeps the superior food stuff?
Well, I mean, let's be clear. Both of these are absolutely terrible. Candy corn's awful. Peeps are awful. Now, Justin, you kind of made my argument for me a little bit there.
Feel free.
Sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
First and foremost, at the core of what a Peep is marshmallow flavor. And marshmallow flavor overall is decent. It's good enough, and marshmallows are in s'mores. Obviously, s'mores is far superior than both of these, but we're talking about Peeps here. So at the core, you have marshmallow, which good enough flavor. But secondly, there is a second advantage to Peeps, And that is the pure enjoyment of microwaving them in the microwave and seeing them explode. I really think that benefits my argument better because, as you are saying, they are easily accessible. So my enjoyment of blowing them up in microwaves is easily accessible. And so I appreciate that to my peeps all year round. Now, as far as candy corn is concerned, it is not only the flavor that is terrible, but it is also the texture. It is this like slimy, like grimy texture that like goes in your teeth. And that thing that goes in your teeth is liable to stay there until next Halloween. Like, I'm telling you, it is bad texture. It is not good. Tastes almost like Play-Doh. It's just, it is
Wait, you
awful.
ate Play-Doh? You're not supposed to do that. It says not edible.
Well, yeah, I know. That's why I said almost. I'm talking about my memories back when I was a kid, when I did probably try Play-Doh, and probably said in the same sentence, "Wow, this really tastes like candy corn." But let me just also say this again: Peeps at its core, marshmallow flavor. Yes, it has the food coloring. Yes, it might have the sugar on top, and yes, it might not be that great. But candy corn, it has multiple personalities. It's like trying to decide what kind of flavor it is. And you, on top of that, you got bad flavor mixture. You got a bad texture. It's stuck in my teeth. Peeps are way better.
All right. Well,
All right.
I enjoy the fact that you took
Rebuttal.
that. Sorry. Thank you. I enjoy the fact that you took that argument, almost as if I was handing you on a false platter here. Because I feel like, yes, blowing up marshmallows is going to be fun in microwaves regardless. Peeps are something that you don't go to the store and be like, "Ooh, I'm going to buy Peeps." If you're going to blow things up, if you want to blow things up in the microwave, you just buy regular marshmallows at half the price. You're not going to spend money on the extra sugar and color just to blow them up in the microwave. If you're buying Peeps, you're, number one, crazy.
That's false.
You go and buy Peeps at the store?
No, I mean, why would you would rather microwave a plain white marshmallow instead of a fun colored marshmallow? I mean, it's just more fun.
I'm saying you're not going to the store and buying them, which is one of the things you said is they're available
Yeah, I'm
to
not.
me.
People are.
They're available to you year round, but if you are excited to blow things up in a microwave, that you're not going to spend extra money on the Peeps to do that. And you're talking about the taste. Let's go into the taste detail here, because Peeps, you said the candy corns get stuck in your teeth for a year up until next Halloween, and year round you don't have to buy them because they're still there. You won't have any teeth after the Peeps. You won't have any because that sugar gets in between, gets underneath in your gums, and your teeth gonna fall out real quick if you eat enough Peeps. I'm telling you real quick. And on top of that, I'm gonna give you even more armor if you want some more fireback power here, because Peeps come in chocolate covered too. All right, but let's just add insult to injury and put a can of gasoline on top of the fire, because you're gonna have a sore mouth, you're gonna have no teeth, and you're just gonna be eating Peeps every single day. No, candy corn has a weird flavor. Sure, it might get stuck, but there's other things you can do with it too. Have you not seen art? People use candy corn in art every year. Every year they use it to decorate. They also use it, I'm sure you've seen the stack of candy corn glued together to make it look like a cob. Sure, you don't want to eat that, but visually, the colors make for gratifying pieces of art. So you've got that aspect there of all those different personalities, as you say. You don't know what flavor you are. You've got the aspect of using it in your decorations, which is something huge when it comes to that spooky season.
And here's the problem. I got one more thing here, Cicero, and then you could call it.
Please.
Here's the thing. You do mention that Peeps are year round, that they are available year round.
They are.
And that is a problem with candy corn. The problem is that it is only available seasonally. Mm-hmm. And therefore makes it far inferior, because the one season that it is available for, people do not flock to, because they're getting free candy from people's doors, and it's all the Reese's and it's all the Snickers. Candy corn, there's no purpose to it because you're not going out of your way during the Halloween season to get candy corn.
No.
You're going out of your way to go get Reese's and Snickers and all paydays, whatever you want.
I just want to tell you
All
something
right,
here. One little. Come on now.
We're calling it. We're calling it.
Come on.
There it is. There it is. We're done. We're done with the Reese's and the Peeps and the candy corns. They're both disgusting. Peeps are fun and blowing them up in the microwave. But Justin won on his versatility when he talked about the myriad things that you can do with candy corn outside of eating it. We only talked about blowing up. We only talked about destruction with Peeps. The only thing we want to do with Peeps is blow up things and make a mess of microwaves. But you can actually put art together with candy corn. That's you can create something.
Sure, there's
new
Peeps art too.
Those creepy looking faces. Nope.
Yeah,
I'm just
Nobody
saying.
wants to see that. Yeah, no one wants to see
The
that.
eyes are always off center.
Justin, that gives you the win for that round, which brings us to a tie. And with our ties, we go to our tiebreaker, and our tiebreaker, as always, will be the Metacritic score for a video game.
Mm-hmm.
And Cicero didn't have one prepared, but he is going to take one and give it to us now. So we are going to get the Metacritic score for Days Gone. The PS4 title that came out in 2019 for Days Gone. All right, gentlemen, when you are ready.
No idea. All right.
All right.
I got my number.
Justin's ready. Mike is ready. For those listening at home, we are doing this the closest to it without going over. I guess not the
Price is Right rules.
Yeah.
It's not Price is Right rules, because if somebody does go over, even if they're closer, we give it to them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So whoever's the closest.
Well, no, because if I'm under it and Justin is over it, I still get it, even though he's closer. It is Price is Right rules.
So it is Price is Right rules.
Yeah.
Price is Right rules unless both people are over, and then it's the closest.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There we go. Mike's trying to hedge his bets. Mike,
I've lost
I'll let
this
you go
every
first.
time, so
Yes. I'll let you go first. Here you go. What's your number?
69.
Nice. Justin, what is your number?
Just like Peeps, the wrong choice.
Yeah.
70.
Was it actually
It was
70?
It was 71, but I thought it'd be funny to bring it to 70. Is that okay? Or do you want me to do 71?
No, you got to do 71.
Fine, 71.
71. You got to do 71. You got to keep it honest.
All
right. You by keeping it honest, you get to reach into my pocket and pull out $100 bill because it is 71. Justin, congratulations.
Really?
You have won.
I told you, I always lose this.
71 for Days Gone.
Can I say what I was going to say about Peeps now?
Sure. This is your win.
Quack quack. Thanks for believing in me. Number two. You brought the argument up that candy corn comes out only when other candy is prevalent, but it stays around, which means that it sells during that period. Oh, yeah. All right.
So that also would have Yeah, that also would have helped you out there.
Well,
But you
mine
won
is
that- you
year
won that
round,
one
so
in.
it's clearly stays around too.
It's just
No, they just mean they
terrible.
make too
I
much
just-
during one season. They have to keep
Right. Yeah,
dyeing them
they
different
just-
colors.
Yeah. Someone woke up and realized that they don't want to do that anymore. Instead, they want to get to our leaderboard. And our leaderboard this time is top 5 Sega games of all time. Justin, you are our winner. So you get the first 3 choices.
All right. So I'm gonna go with Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate Edition. Mike, are you gonna be typing today?
Oh, you want
I
me
can.
to? I got it.
No, I can.
Okay.
I
I'm
got
not
it.
typing. Then I'm gonna go with Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I think that one
Alright.
gets some good ones. And then I'm gonna go with Altered Beast because I really liked that a lot. It had the kind of gore and the horror that I liked in video gaming.
All right, Mike, what is your first choice?
My first choice. I did not think about this. I'm sorry. First choice is going to be Aladdin. It was
Ooh.
better. It was better than the Super Nintendo version. IMO. So yeah,
I could agree with that.
Okay.
going with that. Let's see here.
There's so many.
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah, I mean, they have so much. Cicero, you go.
All right,
Yeah.
I will go then. So my first one will be Streets of Rage 2. Better than the first.
So are we doing Sega Genesis games or Sega the publisher?
Sega, the
games?
publisher, anything from that.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
Oh. Oh yeah, my bad.
I got
was
you
putting them in the
back,
wrong
man. I
place,
got
but
your
that's
back.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna do Streets of Rage 2. I forgot that we were doing Sega the publisher and not just the Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
Is Streets of Rage 2
because-
Sega published?
I don't
I
know.
don't even know.
That's good question.
You know what? Let's just make it easy and say
Look-
anything that was on a Sega console at one time. Is that okay?
I mean, that works for me.
I mean, when you did Justin, you did all Sega Genesis games, right?
It also
No, you did. We got Mortal Kombat 3 in there.
That's a
So that's a
Master System.
Genesis
yeah,
game.
it's a Genesis game. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
Genesis game. Yeah.
So he did all Genesis games.
Technically,
And you
but
did a
you don't
Genesis
have
game.
to stick to Genesis.
Okay,
you could have gone with
yeah, but I mean, we
links.
could just do Genesis games because Cicero was already thinking about that. You chose all Genesis games,
Yes.
so I could just do Genesis games because Cicero was already prepared for that. So
Yep,
Okay.
I am. Which my second
Oh,
choice
God.
is Eternal Champions.
Mm-hmm.
A fantastic Genesis game. And my third Genesis game would be I'm gonna go with Joe Montana Sports Talk Football.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look this up.
all right, so I'm going
There's no
Sonic and
hyperlink, of
Knuckles.
course. Okay.
Sonic and Knuckles.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say NHL '94, but I was a Blades of Steel guy growing up. So I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose X-Men. I remember the Sega Genesis X-Men game. Very, very good. Very fun. I'm going to do that.
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna switch one of my titles.
Which one?
I'm gonna take Joe Montana off, and I'm going to instead add Bulls versus Lakers.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, Bulls Lakers.
So is that like, is that a NBA Jam like title, or is it just that game?
It is.
It is more of a simulation.
It is an EA Sports. It's the precursor to NBA Live.
Okay.
It was the EA Sports game, the sequel to Lakers versus Celtics,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this one was called Bulls versus Lakers and the NBA playoffs.
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah.
So you got all of the NBA playoff teams with their actual players on them, and the superstars or the best players had like special moves they could do. Like Barkley had a gorilla dunk where he would just dunk down he'd go jump through the lane.
Yeah.
And Tom Chambers had a double pump that he could do from 3-point range. He would double pump dunk it, and you get threes with it.
Okay.
It was incredible. That was a fun game.
All right. Must-haves. Yeah.
All right.
So
must-haves. Yeah, go ahead, Justin. What's your must-have?
I think I got to go with Altered Beast. I want to do Altered Beast because I don't think did you guys play Altered? I know Cicero nodded when I said it, but it was just unique. It's a side scroller, obviously. It's good. It's in that Sega Genesis Master Collection thing that's on the Xbox as well, which I got to touch base on it with again.
Yeah.
It's difficult, very difficult, but it does have some unique features for a side-scrolling fighter.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a side-scrolling fighter where you get to turn into a werewolf of some sort.
A lizard, a dragon, some different types of beasts.
And you just keep fighting all the way through. I don't know if I've ever ended that game.
It was huge in the Genesis marketing campaign because they wanted teenagers to come over, and that was more mature.
It's known for its initial boss sound. He's like, "Welcome to your grave."
Yes. Welcome to your grave. Mike, what is your must-have?
I think Sonic and Knuckles is going to be my must-have because I think I might be able to argue for Aladdin.
All right. My must-have is Eternal Champions.
Well, now I don't have to read about it.
Yeah.
It's a fighter?
All right.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a fighter.
Okay.
It's a fighter. All right. And
come on, MK.
Yeah.
I'm leaning Mortal Kombat and Aladdin. That's just me.
I'm leaning
X-Men and
Aladdin,
Mortal Kombat.
Bulls, Lakers.
Oh.
Aladdin, Bulls, Lakers.
You didn't like Mortal Kombat on that?
I did. But like when I think of unique Genesis experiences, Aladdin,
X-Men,
and Bulls, Lakers. The X-Men game was good, but it's not more memorable to me than Aladdin and Bulls.
Okay,
I think
we
the
got
Lion
two for
King
Aladdin.
was better than Aladdin.
Not on Genesis. Lion King was better on Super Nintendo. Aladdin was better on Genesis.
I thought they were both better on Genesis, but okay.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, I played both of them on Genesis more for sure.
Yeah, but Aladdin 100% was better on Genesis.
Yeah. The soundtrack alone, for sure.
Yeah.
So are we okay with Aladdin going on?
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
I'm good with that.
Okay. And then you guys could duke it out. I'm leaning MK, but Cicero, you could sway me with Bulls. I'm a Bulls fan, so.
Come
on, tournament.
So, yeah,
it's got everybody.
I mean, it does have everybody in it. It's a great game. It is not a game. It was a great game, but the thing that won Genesis over for Mortal Kombat fans was the fact that you got blood in the original Mortal Kombat. Mm-hmm. And then by the time they allowed blood on the SNES, MK, this tournament edition hadn't even come out yet. So like when it came out, there was parity between them both. And you know, you had shoulder buttons on the SNES controller. So I don't know. I will stake a claim for Bulls versus Lakers. When you think about the Genesis, this is a seminal Genesis title. This is a title that only, like, these are titles that you could either only play on the Sega Genesis or they were vastly superior on the Sega Genesis. And this was one that you could only play on the Sega Genesis, and you think about Sega Genesis and you say, oh yeah, that's one of those games.
I don't know. I feel like Mortal Kombat, like, there's so many sports games of back in the day, right? That can just be interchangeable. Like you were saying, this is the sequel to something else. This is the sequel to something else. MK holds a spot that's just like, you remember when it was to a point where before it became 3D. You remember it as you played at home for the first time after playing it in the arcades. And MK Ultra or Ultimate was one of those times for me. And on Genesis, it was kind of like if you were to buy a game with all the DLC already unlocked. Because you've got all these characters that you've grown to know throughout all the series, and you've got them in one place. And there's so many different ways you can play it. You know, you can play the tower, you can play versus, you can play single. It just kind of like held that footing.
All right, I'll let you go. I'll let you rock with Mortal Kombat, even though your argument was that don't pick your sequel, pick my sequel instead.
It's got more replayability, I guess. That's the way I'm trying to put it. Like you've got the playoffs, sure. You don't have
playoffs.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have like endless possibilities of new people and playing, and you're stuck with those playoff teams.
Talking about practice.
That is fair. Right. That is it. Well, we've got our top 5 in no particular order. Top 5 Sega Genesis games of all time. Altered Beast, Sonic and Knuckles, Eternal Champions, Aladdin, and MK3 Ultimate.
Cool beans.
Well, yeah. You made it. Congratulations to us. Congratulations to Justin. Congratulations to you, dear listener, because you have made it to the end of another Test Your Might. This has been Test Your Might 85. For Justin, for Mike, for Jelly, for Sean, I am Cicero. And we say, bye!
Bye.
It's the eagle music.